Bow drill. It really is that easy. Or let me rephrase that. It really can be that easy when you're working with a well-carved kit and perfect bow drill form. Today, we're going to talk about perfect bow drill form. There are hundreds, maybe even thousands of videos out there showing how to make fire using a bow drill. And a lot of them have really good instructional information. But of the ones that I've watched, for the most part, the people doing the demonstrating are working much harder and much longer and using far more energy than is actually necessary. And that's why in this video, we're going to be talking about perfect bow drill form. In the kit I'm using today, both my fireboard and my spindle are made from a seasoned eastern white cedar from an old fence post, and my flex bow is strung with nylon cordage. But whether I'm using this kit or one where all the materials come from Home Depot or one where all the materials are gathered strictly off of the landscape, proper form does not change. I'm going to assume that you already have some experience either making or attempting to make fire using a bow drill and already know how to make a kit. Again, I'm going to be concentrating strictly on form, and we'll only be discussing our kit when there are changes that you could make that will actually help you improve your form. When done properly, bow drill is fast, fluid, and easy. And when you work with the physics of fire, the truth is that it should only take about 30 to 45 seconds for you to get a coal. If it takes longer than that, something needs to be adjusted. But don't take my word for it. Let's break it down. Being a lefty, I hold my bow in my left hand, which is my dominant hand, and kneel on my left knee. If you're right-handed, you'll do the opposite, holding your bow in your right hand and kneeling down on your right knee. Now I'm going to place my foot on the board with just about a finger's width between my socket and my foot. I have my bow in my left hand, and I take my spindle in my right hand with the pointy end facing up. I'm going to dive that pointy end down in between the string and the bow, wrap it around, and pull it towards me. Let me show you that again. Pointy end, dive down in between the string and the bow, wrap it around, and listen for the snap. It's important that the cordage is that tight around the spindle. If my spindle can travel at all along the cord, then when I'm bowing, I'm going to be wasting energy with my bow moving and my spindle staying still. So look at the way I'm kneeling down. I have my foot on top of my fireboard, not just my toes and not my heel, but really right around the arch of my foot. And there's a reason for this that I'm going to talk about in just a minute. You can see here that the rest of my legs, as I'm kneeling, are in a square position. This is important. It needs to be a square, and that my knee is virtually directly behind my ankle. I should be able to stay in this position indefinitely. It should be that comfortable. My foot is just kind of out over to the side here, making a triangle, and that allows me to stay in this position stably. Stability is a key aspect of proper bow drill form. So I have my spindle stuck in my string. Now I'm going to place it into the socket and grab my handhold. The hole in the handhold needs to be well lubricated, otherwise you're getting friction up here, which you don't want. This one happens to be made out of wood, but I mean, we have handles made out of antler, out of stone, out of even a glass candle holder from the dollar store. It doesn't matter. The important thing for your proper form is that your handhold fits comfortably right in the center of the palm of your hand. Take your handhold, place it on top of your spindle. Now I'm going to make some tiny adjustments. At this point, my wrist and my shin are not touching. That's bad. That means that when my spindle is straight up and down, if I stayed in this position, I would be forcing all of the tiny little muscles in my wrist to keep everything stable in a 360-degree way, and it's just not possible. Instead, I'm going to create my perfect square. I'm going to make my spindle be straight up and down. You can see that it's not angled this way, or this way, or this way, or this way. It's going to be straight up and down. And now, I'm going to move my foot into a position where my shin is touching my wrist. There. You can see that my wrist is hucked right in against my shin. There is no real movement here unless I move my leg, which I'm not going to do. I'm also not going to hunch all the way down like this over top of my bow. It makes it easier, sure, for me to see what's going on, but I know what's going on. I don't have to see it. I want to keep my arm straight so that I can use the full force of my upper body to lean down onto my spindle. If I'm down like this, once again, I'm forcing all these tiny little muscles in my wrist to try and achieve all that downward pressure. Completely unnecessary when you just straighten up and lean. So I have my bow, now I'm holding it at the end. You can see that quite clearly, not up here in the middle. I'm going to hold it at the end. Again, check my form, press down, and slowly but carefully, smoothly and fluidly, start to move the bow. I'm starting to see a little bit of smoke coming out, and that indicates that my kit is warm and I'm starting to generate dust. Once again, speed completely unnecessary at this stage of the game. Nothing is going to happen until I have dust filling up the entire notch. So I'm just slow, smooth, using the entire length of the bow. If I only use this little tiny area of my bow, I'm using, again, way more energy than I need. Use the entire length. You can also see that my bow is parallel with the ground. If your string is traveling up and down your spindle, I can almost guarantee you that your bow is being held at an angle either with the tip down or with the tip up. Just keep the bow parallel to the ground at all times, and you'll achieve minimal string travel. My notch is now pretty much full of dust, and you can see that I'm not breathing heavy. I'm still talking to you in a normal tone of voice. I'm not gasping for air. It's effortless and easy, all because of proper form. Now I'm just going to take a moment to ignite my coal. I'm just going to pump a little bit of hot air back down through there. That also helps to, hopefully, loosen the coal out of the board so it doesn't get stuck. And there it is. Easy, effortless, beautiful little bow drill coal. So now you've seen it for yourself. Bow drill really is that easy. Just practice your form, make everything perfect, and it'll be easy and effortless for you too. Until next time, I'm Julie from Practical Primitive. Have fun and be well.